So, today's video, I'm going to be putting these bad boys on. So, no more stock control arms. I wonder if I've got my, yes, here it is. Yeah. See? Told you. Alright, let's get some lights on in here and make sure that worked. Alright. There we go. Shut that a little bit. It's getting chilly here, Tennessee. Alright, well I need to scotch back wheels and I have another one, but that should be fine. Here. Oh, damn it. I need to back my car up a little bit so I've got room. Well, I'm going to get this jacked up and I'll be back whenever I get the wheels off. Alright, so I've got the wheels off under the car, safe, and if you don't already know, I'm sure everybody's ever told you, make sure you loosen the wheels before you get it in the air, or you'll have to find some ingenious way of getting it off if you don't have an impact, which I have an electric one, but just for giggles and because I forgot, I wanted to see if I could do it, so I just took that big old scotch right there, scotch block, and just kind of jammed it under the wheel and held it with my foot while I busted it loose. So, just because you forget doesn't mean you got to set it back on the ground, and just because you don't have an impact doesn't mean you can't get the job done. So, moving on to this. So I remembered in a stroke of genius that you actually have to pop the hood, so I went ahead and cleared everything off the hood. This right here, I'm stoked to get to show this off. I've been super excited since I picked this up. It's got an adjustable, alright, you no longer have to accidentally spray too much, or not spray anything, whatever. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Because this, super cool. This thing is genius. Every spray can should come with something like that. Genius. So, the goal is to get these shite ass upper control arms out and put these nice. Guess you didn't see the unboxing video. So, went ahead and adjusted it some. Kind of see. Man, it looks nice. Shame I gotta put this on my car and It's gonna get beat all to hell, but it's okay. Because I'd much rather it be on the car than just look at it on a shelf. I'd rather use it. So I'm stoked. But yeah, let's get the hood popped and get to work. Yeah, hold on. Just for now. Because I've only got one hand. And these are the bolts we're after. Well, let me get a better view. This one. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but that one down there, you can probably barely just see it right there. And then this one. And, well, yeah, I can't necessarily show you that one. Maybe I can. Yeah, right there. Boom. So we gotta get those. And this, we gotta get this. And that's where this beautiful little tool comes in handy. This right here is crucial. Something like it. Everybody, if you plan on doing anything, you know, suspension wise, these are almost a must have. Because they just, you know, you just kind of slide it up on there. And it goes between the ball joint and, oh, come on, focus. Damn you. There we go. It goes between the ball joint boot and it kind of pries on the spindle and punches the bolt through itself. So you just put some pressure on it and then you just start, you know, hammering on it with a nice 16-ounce ball peen hammer or heavier. You got a sledge, obviously, but you know, anything under 16 ounces and you're not really slinging much. So this is about the smallest hammerhead you want to go. Unless you run a body shop, and then, you know, obviously you've got other uses, but for me, I just need to beat the piss out of something and get it to come free, so, or convince something a little bit. But yeah, you know, it always helps to have the book here. I don't want to share too much because I don't want to get in trouble, but yeah, I know I at least have someone or something to tell me the correct way to do this if I get lost, which I've done it before, so you know, for me it's not an issue. But if you haven't ever done it before, it's really nice to have a Haynes or a Chilton if you're a little bit more advanced. Kind of sucks to have a car without one because you're kind of left to your own devices. But anyway, let's get cracking at this and let's get some new control arms on this bad boy. Alright, I got the cotter pin out, so now we're going to let's see, open this up a little bit. See if I can't. Okay. Alright, so got that good and coated. And I'm squeezing the trigger all the way down. So, yeah, I might need to dial it in a little bit, but nonetheless, barring not knowing the settings, light that up real quick. Barring not knowing the settings and whatnot, what the hell? Why is there oil all over this side? Huh. That's weird. Pretty sure that wasn't just me. Like, is my power steering leaking or something? I don't know. Maybe it's just some grime or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, so we're just gonna let that soak, and actually, go ahead and. Oh, come on. Oh. Alright, let's let that soak, and then we'll get to disassembling everything. So I'm gonna pause, let that soak, and we'll get back to it. Okay, so pro tip: if you have a factory airbox, I don't know how to help you unless I could look in the book and tell you, but you're probably gonna have a little bit harder time than I did. Luckily, I have a short ram intake, so my factory airbox has already been removed. If you do not have a ratcheting 14mm wrench, like I have yet to get, then you can loosen it with a 14 and get it to where it's, almost thumbable, but, obviously in a position where you can't really thumb the bolt out. You can use 9/16. It's basically, so close that if it's already loose and you're just using it for the ratcheting feature, I don't think it'd mess anything up. That's what I'm doing. Obviously, user beware. Obviously if you take something that's a 14 and you try to stick a 9/16 on it and it's really tight, there's a good chance you could mess something up. So definitely, I'm not that good at that, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you to trust it, but it works for me, so for the win. But yeah, so we're already loosening everything up. I pulled the cruise control cables and throttle cables out of the way, out of their little harnesses and whatnot, to get to this one back here, and I got them loose, so I'm gonna bust the castle nut and start working on getting it separated before I completely take everything loose, and then I'm sitting here fighting everything. So yeah, let's get this ball joint pop tool right here. Let's get this on here, and let's loosen some castle nuts, and let's make some progress. So yeah, I'll get back to you whenever I start getting ready to start pop everything loose. I'll at least show you one side. Alright, so after a little bit of preparation, I had to grease it up because it was a little rusty. But this is basically how you want to make sure that you've got it, pretty much, over the bolt itself, with the castle nut still on it but loose, so that your stuff doesn't go flying. This will fall, so if you're laying under it or whatever, which I would not recommend while hammering on it, because jack stands, not really advised, but everybody's in that situation, and you can't really anticipate every emergency. So but yeah, so you basically want to get it like this, and before you ask, you're like, if you don't have a wrench the right size for that, this thing is ginormous, by the way. It is a 15/16, almost an inch. Come on, where's it at? Right there. Let's see if I can't, damn it, try to get there it is. There it was. Yeah, you get the gist of it. Yeah, so you'll basically want to tighten this up, and then you'll want to take your device of destruction of choice, and you'll want to hit right there, just like that. Just keep hitting on it, and eventually it'll convince itself to come loose. Let me get this tightened up, and then I'll show you. Hold up, see if we can catch the pop on camera. Oh, there it went. Didn't even need to hammer it. So yeah, basically just like that. Boom. Before I set it back down, just to save this ball joint, because you know, these aren't necessarily so bad that I couldn't use them again in an emergency, but you know, like I said, you never know the situation you'll find yourself in. It's always good to keep at least one backup part, unless you can buy brand new ones and keep brand new ones on hand, which, I mean, let's be real, not a lot of people can do that. So yeah, let's just let's wax the other side. Let's get these ball joints loose, and then I'll continue the video unbolting the A-arms and getting ready to put these juicy boys in. Oh my gosh. Alright. Alright, now do I have a complaint for you? Okay, so Detroit axle. Not a lot of people know about them, right? I've been buying from them for quite a while. I've got friends that have bought stuff and come over here and used all kinds of their products. I wish I could find some more, because I've got a whole bunch of Detroit axle stuff here. Boxes, just like that. All over the place, right? Off of eBay. This ball joint was put on before I bought the Moog one, right? So this is a Detroit axle front upper A-arm for a 2000 Civic. Alright, look at that ball joint. That little bit of play is from the bolts being loose. Okay, there it goes. Look at that. Alright, you see? Takes a decent amount of force. They're a little wore out, you know, whatever. They're cheap. I bought a kit, 12-piece kit, whatever. It probably cost me 125 bucks. I probably spent 10 bucks a part. This is a Moog. You can see it right here. Moog. This is a Moog ball joint that was replaced because I thought the Detroit axle was, you know, going out, giving me problems. The boot tore. Look at this. Is that not the most insane shit you have ever seen in your entire life? Now, you tell me why a company like Moog, who I thought, you know, at least with the American vehicles, domestic, they make some pretty good stuff. However, when it comes to at least Hondas and the parts I've bought from them, they are less than ideal. So, a word to the wise, or whatever, however the saying goes. If you drive imports, try to steer clear of Moog. They're not worth the frustration and problems that they end up giving you. This ball joint and A-arm is useless. I would much rather have a torn boot that was stiff as hell. You saw that in the house with the last video. I could barely move that ball joint and the boot was still tore. and you're going to tell me that a Moog ball joint, which is supposed to be quality, is already clapped out like this. That is insane. That is insane. Alright, enough ranting. Let's get back to fixing it and pulling this shit out. I'll update you in a minute. Alright. So we got them out. And I'm going over them one last time and double checking. I got a feeling I'd rather have a little bit of negative camber, but not a whole bunch. So I'm going to double check, make sure the links are correct. I've got a it's like a precision square around here that's like for framing, so it'll be close enough. And I'll just see how close I can get it, and then slap them on the car and hope we don't have positive camber, because if so, I'm going to have to loosen them and push them in, which luckily the hardware is on the bottom, so it's not going to be the end of the world. I'll be able to access it while it's, you know, still mounted and bolted up. I won't have to lift the car off the ground if I so choose, but you know, it's always kind of recommended. But yeah, let's get cranking away, and then I'll update you once I start putting them in the car. Alright, so I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you're going to need a 17 for the castle nut on these. Yeah, basically I've got the suspension preloaded to where it's, you know, released from the jack. All the weight is being supported. So I then went in with my 14 and tightened them down on this side and that side. I'll have to put that rat's nest back in place here in a minute, but I figured I'd show you the process on the little bit easier side. So on the side that was really causing the problem the whole damn time. Frustrates me, man. You know, because I loved Moog. I thought that was the coolest company ever. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, let's what I basically do is I'll leave the castle nut to where it's, in fact, spin it out a little bit, but I'll leave the castle nut where it's protecting the threads, because God forbid you knurl the first thread on every ball joint ever, and yeah, and then you're stuck. So yeah, you'll basically want to reach under here with one hand, and then line it up, and then shove the bolt in. Let's see if I can't rig this up to stand. Oh God! I don't know, maybe. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Let me pull this out of the way for you, so you can see. All right. And then here comes the tricky part of picking the battery up. I may have problems here. Okay, right here. Bruh. Good grief. That boy's heavy. So yeah, it did go through. Alright. Oh, and that 9/16 trick also works putting these back in, because it's a nightmare. And be careful. Don't touch the hot side. You'll ground the wrench out in your hand, and that's not fun. Okay, so before we get to tightening, I'm actually going to loosen it. Alright, make sure it's loose so it's not preloading the suspension. Okay, now before I get too far ahead, as you can see, I've got, let me see, yeah, got that little notch cut out. Now you want to take your ball joint and you want to kind of pull it out to where it's at like a more straight down angle. And you want to sit here. I don't want to do this one-handed because I really don't want to mess these threads up. So basically you'll want to slowly bring these two together by hand. Slowly. So you do not mess up that thread. I'm telling you, I have done it before on the bottom and it is heartbreaking. Especially for a mechanic who doesn't have any of the tools or all the tools to be able to alleviate the problem. So it's very unfortunate, and you really want to be careful when you're working on your own car. So, you know, definitely be careful. And if you're not sure you can do it, then it's best to just take it somewhere with the parts. Like find you a local store. Like around here, there's a mechanic shop called Mighty Muffler, and I've been going to them, and they don't care to just, you know, charge me labor, and I'll give them the parts to throw in the car. And that's how I did the rear trailing arm. I basically just took the trailing arms off and took them to them, and they pressed them in for me. So yeah, find you a shop like that where they don't mind just charging you labor for working on your car, and you can trust them. So, but yeah, let me finish getting this on, and then I'll update you here in a second. Okay, so now you can see I've got it on there. And the trick to this is you want to angle it out, and you want to pull the spindle out, and then as you're lowering this down into it, you want to push the spindle back so that the hole kind of like seats in a weird way. I don't know, it's like geometry. Bro, I sucked at it. So, but nonetheless, that's just like, you know, to prevent gnarling your first threads on your ball joints, man. I got like PTSD, alright? It's like one of the first major mess ups I ever had working on my own car. And it just sucked. Let me jack this up a little bit so that it's seated. You'll hear the jack stand click. There it is. Jack stand moved, so it's completely supported. and then you want to just kind of, I don't know, I don't want to tighten that too much yet because, let's see if I can get the lined up. Yeah, it's good enough. Let's see. Yeah. Alright. Alright, now that it's also supported under its own weight, let's what? Oh, it was right, I just couldn't tell. And I think like the torque specs on these are like 30 pounds. Bro, just get it snug, you know? You can do whatever you want, but I just get it snug. I don't even play that game. Because I know I'm pushing harder than 30 foot-pounds, so. Alright. Cool. Alright. Put the car back down. Boom, baby. Now I'm gonna go get my Allens, make sure that those are double tight because they were close enough. I just want to make sure that they don't slide up on me when I set the car down. So I'm gonna double check the tightness of them, slide the cotter pin in here, and on the other side, and then that should be it. Yeah, that should be it. We should be good to go after this. Alright. Let's finish cranking away at this. Alright, so we've got cotter pins in. Everything's tightened down. And got most everything back in place. Got the cotter pin on, everything tightened down. Now we just got to get the wheels back on, and then this mess sorted back out. Let's see if I can't do it real quick. Ow. There we go. Okay. That boy is a pain in the ass. Oh. Alright. Hold on. So, double checking everything, making sure I got everything back in place. Everything's tight. Okay, so everything's good to go. So let's put the wheels back on, set her down, and hope everything worked. Alright, so we're back on the ground. Can't really tell if I mean, looks like I could still have positive camber, which would kind of suck. because I moved them in quite a bit. But you know, that's why we go and get an alignment. So here soon, probably within the next few days, I'll be going and getting an alignment, just so I don't mess these tires up. And it's pretty damn, yeah, that's positive camber. So, because I had the back aligned, so the back should be good. Yeah, so we're gonna have to get an alignment. Yeah, so but yeah, I'm curious to see what these bad boys feel like. So unfortunately, I mean, look at that. That is insane. I'm not even trying. I mean, at least with this one, you know, at least it can pick the part up before it actually moves. So yeah, man. I mean, it's not popping, but sure ain't doing a whole hell of a lot. So, but yeah, and I guess that's gonna do it for this video right now. Until I get an alignment, I'm obviously not gonna do much driving, just purely essentials. Yeah, I'm excited to finally have another sweet part on the car, and eventually we'll get rid of this weak ass D16. Don't get me wrong, it's a great reliable engine, but this ain't even the motor that's supposed to be in it. It's supposed to be a D16Y8, and it's got a HX motor in it. So yeah, and this ain't got no custom ECU, no chipped ECU, bruh. This thing runs, you know, no. So I might be lucky if I'm making 100 horsepower right now, but hopefully, you know, now that I'm only a few parts away from completing the suspension, which is coilovers and then new wheels and tires, and then we can start focusing on going with a K-swap. I haven't decided if I'm going to go K20 or K24. Either way, I'm going to need a DC subframe because I want to run a sway bar. Worst case scenario, I might have to go with something tubular, custom. It's going to cost a lot of money, but you know, if it's what we got to do, it's what we got to do. But you know, we're coming up on here soon, starting to work on getting the K stuff to put in this car and get it ready to at least double in horsepower. Go from 100 to 200. So it'll be nice. That's all I really need. I don't need a whole bunch. I don't need to go 0 to 60 in, you know, 6 seconds or whatever, 5 seconds, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't need that. You know, I just want a car that's fun to drive. You know, a car that I made my own. A car that's better than how at least Honda designed it. That's always my end goal when working on cars like this, is to make it better than the manufacturer. You know, so. But I appreciate everybody that watched this video. I'm going to stop rambling on. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up. If you want to see more content, hopefully here soon. I mean, it's coming up on winter, so I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing at work. People don't want to go play paintball, so I'm not going to be recording any paintball videos this year. So hopefully next year we'll be able to get you know, get some paintball footage in the works, at least something. And yeah, we're just going to keep working hours at UPS and working on the car, and you know, we're just living life and being happy. So until next time, peace out. If you enjoyed this content and you want to stay up to date on all my uploads, just hit that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. But until next time, peace out, be safe.